Hello and welcome everybody finally to the Southeast Asian Pro League Playday number 5. I'm Infian New York and with me today is Apples.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, really good to have you guys here. Really, apologies for the 1 hour delay in getting stuff started. Well, that was because if you guys weren't following until now, the first match was supposed to be Xavier Esports from Thailand versus YesTag from Hong Kong. However, YesTag couldn't field a full 5-man team because of technical issues with one of the players' PCs. That meant that Xavier took the forfeit victory and took the 6 points, 3 points per map. Nevertheless, we have this second series ready to go for you guys. Just ignore that timer. We have the second series ready to go right now. That is going to be Airwolf versus Ferox Esports. And it's going to be very interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is, especially with the return of Luna to the team tonight. Keen to see how they perform again now that he is back. Very excited. It's going to be a very interesting game and hopefully very action-packed for us tonight as well.
Yeah, indeed. And also making it more interesting is the fact that this is going to be the first time the former Airwolf player Revek is going to be playing against his old side. He was on Airwolf from Season 1 all the way back in Year 1. And he was part of that core 3 of Luna Metal, Ysera, and him that stretched back to this really unbroken line. One of the longest, if not the longest running core in all of Siege Esports. Unfortunately, he left at the end of Season 8. Didn't really like the team environment, that's what he said. And his replacement is going to be playing today, Mentalist C, turning 18 just a few days before the Invitational Qualifiers land in Sydney. Went there, that was his first time playing in a Pro League environment, outside of scrims, of course. And he had a pretty decent showing, but of course not fully ready to be thrust into the limelight just yet. Today should be quite good. Airwolf almost at full strength after Lunamel, as you said, Apples, is returning because he had a medical issue, and he's now back and fully fighting fit.
It's definitely going to be an interesting game with Luna here. Hopefully Mentalist has eased into sort of the Pro League scene and is ready to, face Ferox tonight. Another interesting point is Bank. We haven't seen that being played too much. So I'm very interested to see how this one goes. I personally don't mind Bank. I know I'll probably get flamed a little bit for that one, but I feel like it's one of those maps that really bring out both sides of attack and defense, and it's just really good because you just have to be really heavily stratted. And of course, with Bank being old and the metas being really strong on this one, it's a difficult one to sort of, gauge how the other team is going to go. So I'm definitely interested to see how it's going to go down tonight.
Indeed, this is the first time this season in Southeast Asia in the Pro League that we will be seeing Bank played. And as you said, I'm very excited. I like Bank. It's a very wide open and flowing map that allows a very nice and dynamic roam game. I really like seeing that. And that's really cool because Airwolf, the kind of weakness traditionally has been a free-flowing roam game. And if there's any person who knows this, it's going to be Revek. And Revek's on Ferox now. So going to be very interesting to see how Airwolf have tried patching their holes up and how Revek will try and help his new team, exploit them.
Yeah, Bank's always been a really heavily roamed map as well, so it's really hard to get those, especially get in a roam clear, especially if somebody's a really heavy roamer from previous maps and they can just bring those out on Bank as well, because it is so open and wide. It's one of those things where you definitely need to have roamers, and because there's a lot of vertical control you can have as well, it's just super important to be able to have those characters that can just, flex around, be roamers, flank if they need to, and definitely excited for this one. It should be a very good game.
Yeah, indeed, and really, Mentalist, is going to be great because he has been really unofficially on the team for 3 years. He has been that unofficial underage sub together with Revek. So actually, if you look at it, you can kind of count him as part of that original roster. If you expand it to 4 people, including the substitute Mentalist. But this is the first time he's really being brought into the core after turning 18, and he's been waiting for this a long time. And I think a lot of Southeast Asia has been waiting with bated breath to see. And last week he showed a pretty good showing. He got like 14 kills on Clubhouse versus Yes Tag. And we are not going to be seeing Clubhouse today, but those 14 kills, those really showed off what he can do.
Yeah, and of course him being young and hyped, ready for the scene, he's only very new to the core roster, so he's got that young blood there, and hopefully throwing that into the mix of things can get us some exciting new turns for Aerowolf. And I'm sure because he's been there for a couple of years, as you said, he will adapt very quickly, and has already moved into sub, and the team dynamic's already there because he's been there for so long.
That's true. And one of the benefits of him being there so long is that in scrims he became a superbly versatile player, because oftentimes either Yasera was away for military service, another person was away for some family function. It just happens. So he ended up playing everyone's roles pretty much at one point or another, and he became really good at playing those different roles. That means if used correctly, he can be Aerowolf's most powerful weapon, even stronger than Array, even stronger than Yasera, because his versatility means if they identify, suppose, a mid-game, alright, we're lacking in, suppose, this kind of area, and we need this kind of operator to bring in, he can play that role. He can just swap off, and he's like, alright, guys, I know I can do it, so, because he is trained. He's just a product of how his introduction into the Pro League has come about. And that's really nice, because that's good for Aerowolf.
Yeah, I think it's good for any team having those really flexible players that can, change onto any operator and own it at that. You have a lot of operators and players that do stick and set to their operators. So, someone who can jump into flex and so quickly because of the previous experience with the team is just an incredible thing to have. So, I reckon Aerowolf stands a fighting chance, and coming up against Revek, this is probably going to be sort of one of those bittersweet moments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And Revek, yeah, unfortunately, he will definitely feel bittersweet. He will feel good because, he kind of, according to what he said, he kind of escaped an environment where he didn't really like it anymore, didn't really feel welcome. And the bitter part was he'll recognize that this is the position of strength, really, that he was part of. Number 1 in Southeast Asia or number 2 last season, been to so many LAN events, at least Asia Pacific wise, even went to the 2017 Invitational, and he knows, and he's gonna kind of have that sinking feeling, right? Unless Ferox and the rest of them work extremely hard, it's gonna be very tough to topple these guys, and that was where he could have been. But I don't think he's gonna have too many regrets at the end of the day, because he made the kind of decision kind of on his own as well, and it was important for him to grow, I think. And who knows, maybe if he starts performing well, it might even mark a return sometime in the future. Never say never. Maybe he'll join Xavier. Maybe he'll join an ENZ team.
That is true, and one of the things that he could take from this and use to his advantage is he does know these guys from Aerowolf really well. He knows their play style, so he could definitely take that and use that to an advantage, especially in this game. And if he's bonded really well with his team so far, which I'm pretty sure he would have, otherwise he wouldn't have stayed. He can definitely use that to his advantage and turn this one around and just turn it into a sweet victory. But anything's possible with Rainbow Six, and that's why we all love it so much, because you have all these good players and people just come in here and surprise us every day.
Also, very interesting fact that I don't know if a lot of you guys know. Array from Airwolf and Xando from Ferox Esports are in the same house. I think they might be either cousins or brothers. Not too sure of the relationship there, but they are together in the same house. That's gonna be awkward, isn't it, Apples?
Yeah, especially when we do see a winner tonight. You know, it's definitely gonna have a little bit of rivalry there. They're definitely cousins. They're gonna, you know, it's gonna be something, a talking point at family events. Anyways, you know, I versed my cousin in Pro League, and you know, we either smashed them or we got defeated by them. It's gonna be one of those things that they can talk about, laugh about, and share in the future.
Well, if it really is a blood relation, and if we go by the theory, looking at Nyx and Hot and Cold in North America, that siege skill translates through the blood, Xando is going to be a force to be reckoned with, I would say. That's going to be... I'd love to see that, because if Array is a fantastic player, and if Xando is anywhere near as good as him, that gives Ferox such a huge boost. And Revek was popping off as well yesterday in the game versus Script. They won one map, lost one map, so 3 points apiece for both teams yesterday. So if Revek and Xando and he starts popping off together, that could really cause Arrow to struggle. And yeah, you know what I'm really wondering about? How do you stop like screening? Like do you just like set up in 2 rooms as far away as you can, or like what happens when you're like shouting, he's there, I see the Jaeger, and then Xando is like, I'm Jaeger.
So I can actually relate to this one really well, because my husband and I are both gamers, and my husband's not so much into Rainbow Six Siege. He plays competitively for PUBG, but we're at opposite ends of the house here. So I'm in like a secluded office at the front of the house, and he's actually set up in our lounge room down the back of the house. But it still doesn't stop the yelling. Like, you can still hear them coming through the mic. And it's a good laugh when you do hear it, because you know how frustrated they can hear it in your voice. So it's one of those things that definitely does bring a smile to people's faces when you do hear them yelling in the background. But it's one of those things you can't really escape from as well, though.
Yep, and talking about what you can't escape from, we can't escape from the map. Number 1, it's going to be Banks kicking off our only series for tonight, Airwolf versus Ferox Esports. What's going to be the first ban? It's going to be Monty. Oh yes, it's had to be a Monty. Guess why? Because, well, number 1, of course, Monty is a great resource on especially the bottom floor. And number 2, Revek. He knows that Lunamel is the best Monty player in Southeast Asia. He has played with him so often. Played with that Monty guiding his own self to victory. So that makes very much sense. And Arrow banning Hibana, very interesting. They're going on attack first. And it's a Hibana ban. It's going to be a Maverick Thermite push, I think.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to utilize the other hard breaches, because banning Hibana is a big one. Definitely going to be difficult popping the hatches now, getting that vertical control. So I'm interested to see what their strat's going to be banning her first.
Yeah, this is a Revek counter ban. This is a straight up Revek counter ban. They know Revek's really good at Echo, and banning Echo here is all, as I said, same with the Monty. It's good to ban Echo, and it's also good because you cripple the enemy team. Ferox is going to respond by banning Maestro. Mentalist really good on that Maestro. So here we have our bans, Montaigne, Hibana, Echo, and Maestro. What do you think of those, Apples?
I do think they have really strong bans, and they are going to change the gameplay up quite a bit, because we do see all of those characters being brought out quite often. So I'm still interested to see what their strat's going to be, banning the Hibana. But yeah. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. And Aerolf traditionally bans Echo quite often, so it's a very comfort ban for them, because they know how to play without the Echo. And it's going to be an Ashe to Thatcher switch. Oh, wow, that's a Mute to Cav 6th pick. Very, very interesting. Cav, as you know, is a pretty decently strong operator nowadays. You know, not really the operator you would want to go for, but you often see a lot of people playing it, especially since Eunice from G2 Esports played it in the very second round of the Paris Major Grand Final. That was crazy.
Yeah, Kavira is one of those operators that you can really dominate with if you know how to play her well. And you know, she gives out a lot of intel if you happen to get those interrogations. So it could be a really smart move, especially because this is a really roam-heavy map.
Yeah, indeed. And I've just received information. Thank you, History. Zando is Array's older brother.
Oh no way! That is some good sibling competition there.
So I really want to see one of them playing Sophia, the other one playing Ella, and I just want to see them duke it out. Sibling rivalry taken from the game to the real life.
Oh, this is going to be definitely a good one, and I would love to be on a fly on their wall in their house right now and just see what it's like, especially if they manage to get frags out on each other. Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy. I can just imagine, you know, both of them after the game like slapping each other. Hey, you killed me 4 times. Like, no, I killed you 5 times. But anyways, going into this round, 2 minutes 20 seconds left. Revex on his other comfort pick of Valkyrie. And it's kind of a slow take. PDW coming out from Array. He's on the Jackal. Not a role we've seen him play too often, especially not with the PDW. And as I expected, Ysera on that Maverick, he has shown pretty good strength on the Maverick, looking down and being able to open the hatches fairly efficiently. Not as good as Cameraman from FaZe, but good enough. Very interestingly, for this basement defense, they've not brought a Pulse. I would have expected a Pulse more because you can put him up in gold and you can get an extra C4 as well. Personally, I would have swapped the Pulse out for the Cav because the Cav really hasn't done anything. It's halfway through the round and she's in the basement. Revek is going to go down. Array taking down his former teammate. And what is Ysera doing? That's a very odd way. Oh wow, that is a new way of talking about efficiency. That is the most efficient I've seen. I wonder how many canisters he has left in that blowtorch because that looked very quick.
Yeah, it looks really quick, and I've never actually seen a hatch being opened like that with Maverick. And the interesting thing here is Kavira is still downstairs anchoring up, so I have no idea what's going on there. You'd think, or maybe it's a strat, they're going to use her as a flank towards the end, but very interesting to see her still in the garage there. Don't know what's happening. We all know Cav is a really big roaming operator, so...
Oh, here we go.
Waiting, being a ninja.
Well, they had a flank drone. You saw Array watching the flank drone, placing it just now. So, I don't know if Detrian has seen that, and Xander's going to take down Lunar Metal. So, you know, tit for tat. Each of the two brothers getting a kill. And, oh, that we go too easy. The flank drone putting in work. Array gets a second kill. Rix goes down. And the Cav just waiting too long. And a C4 going to go out. It's not going to hit Mentalist. There is no plant now left. C4 has been expended. The smoke has been killed. And this is going to be almost certain shut out. Especially now that it's a 4v2.
Yeah, they got in and got that plant down really quickly. And, you know, one of those things where you really need to keep your plant denial alive for as long as you possibly can. And that's the point of the roamers upstairs, is to try and take them out. I wasn't too sure how smoke got taken out just then. I was more focused on the Kavira still being downstairs and being a little bit confused on that one, but they definitely were able to get that diffuser down super quickly and efficiently, and you know, they already baited out C4s, and smoke getting knocked off that early didn't help at all.
Yeah, so we are going to be having a rehost, unfortunately. There is apparently a CPU bug going on with one of the players, but yeah, Array had a 3k that round. Started off the killing, taking out his former teammate, then took out the smoke. I think it was from the hatch. Not entirely sure. So, yep, there we go. Rehost is been confirmed. And yeah, so 3k, great start for Revex. Xander got 1 kill, but was not enough. let's see what happens in the rest of the game. And that's a bit of an early rehost, a bit more technical delays. But what can we do? What do you think of that first round with Apples?
Their first round, Airwolf definitely showed what they're bringing to the table at the moment. And I think Ferox really did take a beating there, not having any roamers. They were all downstairs anchoring, so there was really nothing countering them from getting that vertical control, and taking out that diffuser denial straight away was just really sad for Ferox. So, it's one of those rounds. Hopefully Ferox learn from that, take it on board, and do end up throwing some roamers up their basement defense.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a problem for them if they are unable to fix this. And really, if you're going to anchor on the side with the Caveira, just bring a pulse, man. You get information, you get active information, you get an extra C4, especially since Mira C4 was completely ineffectual against the smoke. And why the smoke was so effective? Well, your defensive smoke, the operator, he got taken out. That meant you can't counter those smokes, and you have a Jackal in play. The guy's getting pinged left to right. Just not a position you want to be in. There were lots of drones active from Aerowolf's side as well. So initial impressions from that one single round are kind of positive, don't you think? For Aerowolf.
Yeah, they definitely are positive for Aerowolf. They got the job done and won them the round, and it's just, the teamwork coming out strong. You did mention that they do have some really strong core players here that have been around and together for a long time. So it's one of those things, like when you do have a team as strong as Aerowolf and as bonded as Aerowolf, it's one of those things that they are quite a strong team, and it really takes another really strong team to take them down.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Ferox can demonstrate that strength that you said is necessary. They kind of did against Script, and Script obviously no pushovers. They were second in Season 7, third in Season 8. So they won one map against Script, but they lost the other one as well. So that is a problem for them if they want to kind of take the fight to Aerowolf, because Aerowolf will not make as many mistakes as Script did, especially not with Lunamel back in the game.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. They do have their captain back in their IGL. I think he's their IGL. Yeah, so they're going to have those clear strat calls. They're going to have that organization throughout this whole game tonight. So definitely going to prove to be a really difficult match for Ferox to take down. But on the other hand, they do have Ravek, and Ravek does know these boys well. So he can, if he chooses, use that to his advantage. And it could well be a very close game.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Ravek, what we saw in that round was not too positive. He was the first to fall, and often on Aerowolf, it was the case as well. Although, really, in the past land, now that he wasn't with them, it was the Smoke and the Legion on defense falling first. This time, in this match, it was Ravek. And I think surely it definitely played into like the team's mindset of what to do with the organization of the players, who to switch around in roles, who to drop, who to pick up. All that stuff probably factor into the mind, and not dying so early. Yeah, that's not a good thing, really. So let's see whether Ravek can fix his things, because he was doing really well against Script. So positive signs, and he has traditionally been a pretty strong player as well. Just kind of fell off in the tail end of his time with Arrow. If you could kind of tell from the outside that it wasn't all a bed of roses.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those things. They've just got to keep strong. I know with Pro League teams, they don't really lose their demeanor at all, and they sort of just recoup after a loss of a round, and they come back fighting stronger. So I feel this is what Ferox is going to do in this next round, and hopefully we will see a little bit more action. And defense is quite hard, especially if you don't have those set strats. And what Ferox really lacked that last round were those roamers to sort of keep control of upstairs, but at the same time slow the attack down, because they did push in quite quickly and take control of a lot of rooms really, really quickly.
Yeah, so, well, we are still waiting on the players from the rehost to come back. Not the best way to start today, is it? But technical issues happen. More than common in this part of the world. It's not always easy, and sometimes the game doesn't play well. Sometimes the PC doesn't play well, as we saw in the previous series that was scheduled to happen. Unfortunately for YesTag, they were not able to play the game against Xavier. I would have really liked to watch that, because YesTag, coming up from Challenger League, trying to showcase what they have, having two members from the ex-Unique Monster roster that played in Season 6 and Season 7 of the Pro League, CT and Wilson, on board. Unfortunately, Barbecue as well, 3 members. So, unfortunately, not able to strut their stuff tonight.
Yeah, it is definitely very unfortunate for them, because I bet you they were pumped to come in here as well and just, give it their all. And it's one of those things that technical issues do happen, and they happen quite often. So, sometimes it just can't be helped, and it cannot be fixed in the short time that they have when they discover that it is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you can even look outside of Southeast Asia. Look at North America, Dark Zero, their team house, having issues with the internet. Apparently, they have not really had a good time in terms of rehosts and stuff in the invitational qualifiers in the Pro League. So it can happen to team houses, and team houses are things that you really kind of research. You get all the best equipment to your knowledge, and still stuff can go wrong. So, whoops. So yeah, you can see stuff is going wrong.
Yeah, it definitely is, but that's one of those things that even when you're not in a team house and you live at home with, either a partner or your family, it happens as well here, because, yeah, definitely your brother. That's definitely a good one, and this is what I think at the moment is making it so exciting for me, is to see this brother, like the sibling rivalry in this game, and I just really wish that I could hear them over comms, because I reckon there'd be some nice, kind words being exchanged right now.
Yeah, I wonder if Array has gotten up from his team, walked up to Zendo and slapped him like, "Dude, get your team's shit in order." Like, obviously, not really being serious about it, but it'll be quite funny. He is that kind of character to joke around quite often. If you actually watch the Talking Siege interview with Aerowolf, you could see when they were at the team house boot camping for the Season 8 APAC LAN, they just kind of staged a mock fight, him and Hysterics in the background. So he definitely has that kind of funny streak in him. I wouldn't be surprised if he is having some few choice words with Xandu right now.
That's probably the best thing about having sort of that sibling rivalry and being in the same house, is that, you can make jokes about it, you'll have your serious times, but it's always going to be something that you can revert to and have a good laugh with, and it's something that's also going to bond them at the same time. So if it was me against my little sister or my older brother, I would probably be having a couple of choice words with them at the moment. But then again, that just comes down to what your relationship is like as well. And yeah, it's definitely a funny one to see two brothers up against each other right now.
Yeah, and talking about, people in relation up against each other, yesterday night in ANZ, we had Luna play a few rounds against her boyfriend, Virtue. Avant Gaming versus Fnatic. She wasn't planning to, but I think she had to sub in for the final few rounds or something like that.
I honestly couldn't even imagine what it would be like coming up against your partner, because, if Fnatic. I ever... Yeah, and two really strong teams as well, and they've both got so much potential, and it's just that, it's gonna... I don't know how they keep the peace outside of the competition. They definitely have some couple bonding sessions or something, I'm sure of it, because I don't think I could ever come up against my husband in a competitive game and not want to rip his head off afterwards if I lose.
Yeah, I mean, they are pro players, so that competitive streak is definitely going to be there. But thankfully, everyone, we can stop talking about this Rio screen. We can start talking about the game. We are going to get right back into round number 2 of Bank. So, round number 2. You think they're going to go back downstairs and defend the same site? No, it's second floor.
Yep, you answered your own question there. Second floor, definitely, I think one of those ones where your defense can be very strong. And I've seen a lot of teams tackle this one and win it on defense because there's just so many things that you can do differently up here. And it's also one of those ones that you can counter strat as well really good. And, you know, we've seen sort of how Airwolf are going to bring it this round, so hopefully Ferox will use that to advantage and take their aggression and just use it to their advantage. But the operator choices right now,
Valkyrie again for Ravek, and thankfully there's a pulse, not a Caveira. Detrian listening, I think he kind of like tuned in, like watched the VOD, is like, oh, I see where I went wrong. But, you know, let's see what happens in this round. Second floor is not the easiest of bomb sites to defend, wouldn't you say?
It's definitely not easy, but it definitely does show how well a team can work together. And it definitely does show how strong strats can be up here. And, you know, sometimes their strats and their defense holds are so strong that it does cause havoc for the other team. So definitely interested to see how these guys do hold it down after the defeat from the last round and see if they can take a win on this one.
Yeah, indeed. Now, pretty much 3 members spawning here together, and oh, Ysera's on the Ashe, and that is something we haven't seen in a very long time. When he did play Ashe, I believe it was in Season 7, he got like a 2.0 KD at the APAC LAN. Even though his team lost, he was himself on fire, and I believe his words exactly were to Lunar Metal, just let me play Ashe and forget about the rest. Just you guys handle your thing, I'll do my thing. And he's gonna be rappelling up here on the main entrance. Not going to catch anyone just yet. Might catch him. Oh, what a shot! Instantly takes down the Doc, and that's really great reactions. Big kill. The ACOG's off the board for the defenders.
Yeah, that was an absolutely incredible shot just then by Ysera, and just unfortunate that he was in that place and not able to counter him. But as you said, if he was that strong with Ashe 2.0 KD, it's definitely one of those things that they're gonna have to take into account and sort of not aggressively peek him either.
Yeah, Ravek must be like, oh no, they sent him back to Ashe. he was there. He had good memories when they don't want. He doesn't want them to become bad memories. Oh, but Mentalist here on the scanner, scanned by Detrian, as well as Array rappelling up. Dangerous position. They better have a flank drone if they want to win this round, because Detrian is in such a good location. If he, Ravek is going to take down Array. That's the Jackal off the board. That's a good kill. Trading back from the first round where Array took him down. Detrian is still giving lots of information. This is a very strong position. It's got information. There is a C4. And his C4 is going to connect as a free kill on Lunar Metal. Going on the drone. Not expecting the pulse to be there. It was a 6th pick. But Mentalist makes it 3v3 again. That is Kanodi off the board.
That was definitely a really strong position from Pulse, and they're not knowing that he was actually there was incredible, because that should be one of those things that you do drone out quite quickly down blue stairs, because a lot of people actually sit there because it is one of those spots where you can sit and sort of give intel or, you know, get some nice little peeks off as well, especially if they do not know you're there if you haven't been droned. And 3v3 looking stronger this round at the moment for the defense team.
Yeah, Detrian is still on his roam, and it's just 15 seconds. His C4 has been expended. Revek takes on Hysterics. Mentalist takes on Xando. Revek's alone on site. Not sure where he is. Ysera might be able to get the kill, but he looks away. No, Revek is still taken down. His reign of terror against his former team ends. Plant goes down, and now Detrian is in a 1v2. If he takes this 1v1 significantly well enough, he can win. But no, the crossfire too good from Airwolf. Mentalist gets his second of the round.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I thought he might have, you know, tested it out with a pre-fire through that soft wall just then, because, you know, the diffuser did just go down and he would have heard that it was there, but it's also one of those things where do you want to give out your position, but unfortunately he just crossed right through the center of the room and was able to be taken out really easily.
Yeah, and Thatcher coming out again from Lunar Metal. Pulse coming out this time. No 6th pick. Detrian knows that they're going to expect it. So he's just going to go straight up with that Pulse pick. Ash 6th pick again from Ysera, from the Maverick. Both pretty similar operators. Great guns, you know, and 3 speed. Mira coming out from the Legion, and that is interesting to say the least. I would probably have brought both the Mira and the Legion. Legion can be such a strong tool, in my opinion, when you are defending, especially the second floor.
Legion is definitely one of my favorite operators on defense, and that's purely because his Goo mines give a lot of intel. And they slow down the attackers so much because it takes time once they're good to retreat to a safe place, to remove it, and it's just one of those operators that I love to see played because the defense can really utilize him and get a lot of intel off him as well as, you know, he's just that sneaky little guy that can sit by his Goo mines and pop whenever they're stuck because it slows them down so much. So definitely sad to see them switch off Legion there, but we'll see what they can do with this mirror.
Yeah, Ysera is going to be spawning alone once more. Worked out really well in the previous round for him. He's gonna take down that camera. Hysterics on the Zofia, that's really become his role as of late. Or rather, since quite some time, Xando is going to be making a pre-prepped castle barricade. So he only really wants it to block the bullets, not really block the rotations if needed in a pinch. This mirror setup is good. It's very standard, but it's still a strong mirror setup, and there's no Twitch or Hibana, the 2 operators that could really fight against this mirror. So it's going to be tough for Airwolf to take it on.
Definitely is, and with the Hibana just being banned this round is going to make it tough for quite a few different, you know, attacks, but we've seen the Maverick just before open up the hatch with ease, and it was just absolutely incredible. So, you know, Hibana being taken out, everybody can look at it as a negative, but Airwolf were just like, nope, this is a positive, we can work around this.
Yeah. Very interesting that they banned it, however, being on attack. They're clearly confident that they can make it work. One of the air charges going in, opening up that castle barricade, I believe that Xando was prepping. That's the one I think you can get an angle on. Detrian on the roam again. It's a very passive roam that Detrian is playing, so he stays kind of out of the limelight, out of the ground really. And the thing about Airwolf is they have a 5v4 man advantage right now when it comes to pushing the site, but they're not really capitalizing on them. Look at it, it's 1 minute left, and there has been a decent amount of map control gained, but not too much. The wall is open, that's good, but they're still trying to look for those picks. Xando is going to take a little bit of damage. He's going to vault over close to the window. Revek is standing right next to him, and it's going to be a certain death for Ysera if he repels in.
Yeah, and you know, Pulse still down here with 36 seconds. I do expect him to start flanking back to room very soon as the kills do start going down. We will sit there, might try to take down the diffuser, but Kennedy will take him out with himself out with a C4.
Oh, but the diffuser gets planted. That was a kill, but was not quick enough. Not sure if the Pulse has seen Array. Array is going to take him down, takes a few shots. from the side. Now Xando is in a 2v2, and he's actually going to get the down on Hysterics, but it is a Zofia. She can pick herself up, and that is what she is certainly going to do. But Riggs coming up from behind, he's going to take her down, and the defuse is going down. Does Array know? No! Riggs! Cover is just too good. And that is the first round on the board for Ferox Esports.
It's definitely a well-defended round, that one, compared to the other rounds that they have had so far. And I think that all just comes down to Airwolf not really knowing how to get in quickly. So they were drone clearing and taking a lot of control of rooms, but they didn't push quick enough, and it did leave them a little bit time poor. And, you know, with a strong advantage from the defense team.
Yeah, so
yeah. What's happening?
Well, we are going to have a rehost, pretty sure. I will be very surprised if there's no rehost. Each team does get the rehost, you know, one per map. Yeah, so that is the confirmation comes out. Unfortunately, our second rehost in just 4 rounds. And this is going to be a long series, unfortunately. But at least we got 2 more rounds to discuss in the break, don't we, Apple?
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully people don't get bored of hearing us just talk about the rounds and not actually see any gameplay. But we're going to try our best to entertain you all. And hopefully shine some more light on these teams.
Yeah, indeed. So that final round, let's just discuss that starting off. That was a very slow push, as you said, just not doing much. And then when the plant really went down, they still ignored the pulse. No one actively hunting him or making sure that he's not throwing up the C4. Second round in a row, they lost a player to that C4. This time they even ended up losing the round because Hysterics backing away too much into the outside, not expecting that hallway angle. And then Array as well, not sure if the communication wasn't there or Array just wanted to stop the defuse because it was getting quite late in the defuse as well. Probably the latter, Array just trying to get the defuse down, maybe take 1 or 2 bullets, try and survive. It would have been tough to win that round in the position that Array was in. But, well, it's really not his fault. At the end of the day, it was really the whole team not playing to maximum effectiveness.
Yeah, definitely. And the pulse proving to be really strong at the moment. And you'd think that Airwolf would expect it, seeing as that's now the second time that he's been brought out. And, you know, he's definitely caused some havoc both rounds in a row. So I'm interested to see if they do sort of plan to counter him this time by doing a more thorough roam clear, because, you know, that pulse is definitely providing a lot of intel, and, you know, being able to take that kill down of the diffuse planter was very good. Unlucky that they did have the diffuser down, but, you know, Doc covering, able to get the diffuser, you know, destroyed. It was just a good hold by Ferox.
Yeah, it was just a little too late, but it doesn't really matter. They won the round, and Airwolf, traditionally their weakness still coming out. You know, not being able to deal with the roam game, whether directly or indirectly, whether late game or mid game or whatever. It's usually mid game and late game when it really comes to bite them. And traditionally, especially that match in the Paris Major qualifiers against Element Mystic, I cast one of the 2 times they faced that, and really was just unable to deal with the constant ebbing and flowing roam game from EM, now Mantis FPS. And here it's not the exact same thing, but it's again related to the roam game. Previously it was, you know, up till very recently, it was not being able to hold the flanks. And this is kind of the same situation. Rather than holding flanks or just putting a flank drone, you have to actively deny that pulse information game, and you have to actively deny that C4. If they don't do that, the next time they go and attack second floor, I'm gonna be quite confused, really.
I'm definitely going to be quite confused if they don't just start standardizing a roam clear in the next few rounds, because the first round might have thrown them off a little bit with Kavira not roaming at all and just staying anchored down in the room and around Garage. But they really should be going really strong on that roam clear straight away, just so they are certain that nobody's going to pop up out of surprise there. And dying to a pulse C4 2 rounds in a row, you think they would have learnt a little bit and tried to roam clear a little bit better, but unfortunately they haven't. So I'm definitely interested to see if that is something they can do in these next couple of rounds.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for them, and it's really becoming a long-term problem for them. Inability to deal with the roamers, and Revek 100% knows this. 100% he knows that these guys are, we didn't used to be very, very good at dealing with the roamers. So now that I'm on the opposite side, what do? Well, I'm gonna tell Jetrian, hey man, just go hide. We'll call you when we need you, and then you'll win the round for us.
Yeah, we did see that Jackal roam clear the first round, though, and that's what I'm a little bit confused about as to why he hasn't. I know it's reversed, so it's not in the basement anymore, but I'm still a little bit confused as to why he hasn't gone, okay, let's drone out the bottom floor, make sure there's absolutely no roamers down there, because that's where the biggest flanks can come from. And as we've seen the pulse on the blue stairs, it was a very big advantage point for them to have that much intel on the square skylight. So definitely interested to see if they do start roam clearing, because that's one of the biggest ones that just won that round for Ferox, is the fact that they took their time getting in because they knew that there was obviously a big possibility that there wasn't a roamer, especially with the drones going into the objective. So
yeah, I mean, you can count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, I'm not getting to 5. I wonder why.
I sure hope that they can count to 5 or at least 4, because if they don't, then that's just very tragic. But moving on, yeah, it's definitely one of those things that hopefully they pick up on. Wow, Ferox is starting to roam more heavily now. We've really got to try and counter that. Even if it's with just drone clearing a little bit better and thoroughly downstairs before they go pushing upstairs, can make a huge difference as well.
Funniest thing is, against Norarengo and Auglis, previously Atletico Esports, this is the kind of roam clear that they really did use, the roam clear that we are asking them to use right now, where you send people into the basement, and sometimes it was a Finca, sometimes it's just the Ash, sometimes the Maverick, just different operators, and they just send them down and made sure that they cleared it out together with the drone and made sure that no one was gonna surprise them. Of course, it didn't work out against Norarengo, almost didn't work out against Auglis, but the idea was there. The execution maybe still a bit patchy, but I hope they haven't thrown away the idea because they thought they couldn't do it because of a lack of execution.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those big things as well, especially in Pro League, and being a really strong team like they are, they should just automatically, in the back of their mind, going, okay, we need to clear the rovers, do just a quick clear every round, just to make sure that they aren't going to be disadvantaged towards the end like they have been. So definitely, unsure about what's going on right now, that they haven't executed a decent roam clear in the rounds that we've seen, apart from the one upstairs where nobody was actually roaming. So maybe that did throw them off a bit, but now they've had 2 rounds in a row where Pulse has been in a really, really dominant position to get intel. So I am looking to see a stronger, either a drone clear out at least, or Jackal heading in and just trying to do his best to clear them out.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get that final member in very, very soon. Hopefully we have all the bands set in the correct order by our wonderful observer, you and me today. really good to be working with him once more. Hopefully everything is all settled and we can get you back in the game really, really soon. But let's go back a bit more to round number 2, where we had Airwolf win, but not able to. But the C4 still came out, but it was not that effective. It was much cleaner, especially with that spawn peak that, not really spawn peak, the repel peak that Ysera got onto Rix, the dock. That really changed the game, didn't it? The round.
Yeah, it really did, because it took down that ACOG straight away, and it just removed their long ADS, aim down sight capabilities, which is a really strong thing for Doc on this map, because there is a lot of long angles that you can hold with him. But, it's unfortunate that Pulse did take that long to rotate back to Rube, and, he was very time poor, so I reckon he got a little bit frantic towards the end in a 1v2, and he didn't really know where the diffuser went down. Otherwise, he might have pre-fired that wall where Thermite was sitting, but it was just unfortunate that it ended like that, even after that nice little C4 that he did get.
Yeah, and that Canto spot really won them the round. This time Rix wasn't picked off by Ysera. Ysera was almost counter-peaked by Revek when he spawned in. But we're going to get right back into the match. It is round number 4. Airwolf versus Ferox Esports. Airwolf up 2 rounds to 1.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that we do see, a little bit of a change in strat attacking this round from Airwolf, and they do take on board, not that they will be listening to us, but they do take on board a little bit of a roam clear. Just, even if they don't run a Pulse, there's always that possibility that, either Valkyrie or Jaeger could be, on a nice little heavy roam somewhere unexpected, and they just don't know because they're not doing that roam clear initially.
Yeah, and it's not going to be Pulse, it's going to stick with Mute. So the rest of the lineup I like. There's a Valkyrie, there's a Smoke, there's a Jaeger, there's a Mira. Really good operators. They have a C4, extra one I mean, instead of just the 2 with the Mute. But honestly, I don't know how much they think they can achieve with the Mute Jammers, but it's going to be very, very good for them if Detrian can play a roam game, use those Mute Jammers as like kind of hotspots, kind of like a non-portable vigil gadget kind of really, and flit around here and there, deny the roam game, roam clear, play a very strong roam, and just come back as he has on the past 2 rounds and haunt the rest of Airwolf.
Yeah, well, he does definitely have the utility to do that, so, there will be roam clearing, and if there's a Mute Jammer there, they're not going to be able to find where he actually is sitting, so definitely an interesting thing to point out there. So I don't know what we're going to be seeing this round, but hopefully it's another close one like the previous ones have been. It's been very towards the end game where teams have come out and just, sort of got their frags and been able to get that diffuser down. So interesting to see how this one pans out and who's going to go on the roam.
Yeah, we had Detrian play the Caveira on site in the very first round, and then he tried to go for a roam, but there was a flank drone and Array took him down very easily. So let's see what happens in this round, as you said. So drones coming out very nicely for Airwolf, but the problem is they weren't getting the map control they needed in round number 3. So Kanoti's on site with the Jaeger, and pretty much actually everyone's on site. So if they're able to play this decently enough, play this well on time. So okay, I'm gonna see how much this fuel this expense, this way that Ysera is opening the hatch. I've not seen this before. So that's 1 blowtorch. It's 2.5 if you use all 4. You just draw an outline on the hatch. So just 2. So not really 2, even less than that. So it's a 1 and 3/4. So that is the most efficient blowtorching we have seen over hatches, and I'm sure it's gonna start to catch on very, very soon.
Yeah, it will definitely catch on very quickly, as that is a very good way to open a hatch to utilize Maverick there. You know, not having getting Havana banned so quickly.
Canody takes a lot of damage, but he does down Array, and not sure if anyone's going to try and pick him up. They have time. It's 1 minute into the round. They need to make their way now, and Hysterics is going to try and do that. Canody in the basement is also going to get reset, so 50-50 health trade, and Lunamel again gets taken down. The Thatcher is off the board. Detrian on the mute this time gets a really good kill with the SMG-11, and Aerowolf just looked so lost.
Yeah, they're really struggling to, you know, push in at the moment.
Oh no.
So, and that was a horrible flash as well, just very poorly timed there.
Oh, come on. Detrian can't land the shot. Ysera is going to take him down. So although Ysera did flash himself, he did also flash Detrian. But look at the time. There's smokes on the board. There are C4s. What a shot from Array. That is going to be... Mental is going down, and one more. It's a 1v2. Ysera is all alone. He can't do anything, and poor time management. Punishing Aerowolf once more. 3k, I believe, for Detrian.
Yeah, they're just not managing their time very well at the moment, and I do think, you know, they were sort of a little bit unexpected there with Jaeger coming up and, you know, downing Array there. So very time poor towards the end at the moment, Aerowolf are being. So, you know, they're, especially with the smoke still up, you want to try and get down there a little bit quicker so you can start baiting out the C4s, you can start baiting out the gas canisters, but it's just not happening, and it's just what's losing them the rounds at the moment is just very, very short on time.
See, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure previously if they were very one-dimensional on the attack. They brought Montaigne pretty much every round, and surprisingly the Montaigne wasn't always banned. But now, right now, it is banned. And without that Montaigne ability to push very quickly, very aggressively without taking damage, being able to bait out the C4s, bait out the smokes very early on, they're just, as you said, being very time poor about things.
Yeah, and Monty is one of those really strong characters, especially on this this map. He's one of those ones that you can definitely get in there. You can bait out smokes, you can bait out C4s, and you can try and stop as much damage as you can, whilst, you know, your teammates peek around you and possibly get a kill. So it's definitely a good ban taking out Monty there, and it's just, yeah, very, very time poor and just not using, you know, the 3 minutes that they have should be enough to roam clear and then get down to room with at least a minute and a half left to go. But they're just not droning and you know, taking those floors really, really strong.
Not sure if Array got that can that Luna clearly wanted him to get. Took a really long time, almost half the magazine expended. See, Detrian just doing the same thing again. He's just gonna, you know, hold himself off inside of the basement, and unless he gets pushed, he is going to be a big problem for Aerowolf. Just
it's
why?
Definitely one of those things now that, you know, comes into play is why isn't anybody trying to counter him right now? Because, you know, he's done it, what is this, the third round now where he's actually sat into a nice little position with Pulse. So I'm very confused as to why they're not clearing him out, or at least trying to clear him out. You know, I guess going to the top floor, they're going to realize, okay, he's down the bottom again, and they don't really have to go down there. But when they do, when it does come to planting and, you know, giving intel, Pulse is going to be able to do that again.
Lunamel this time on the Ash. He's going to get the first kill. Canody goes down. Array has a Jackal tracker as well as the Inox, as well as the sidearm shotgun. Those in conjunction are very strong, and now ADS is going to be burnt. Rix is a very good position. He sees the head, but he can't land the shots initially, but now he does. Lunamel playing a very, very poor angle. Traded immediately by Hysterics though. Whoa, this is not an angle you see often. It's really an angle you see in lower ranks, but it's working here because it's so unexpected. Rix, I can't believe Hysterics actually hit that.
Bomb located by
Yeah, that was incredible, and that's definitely not an angle that, yeah, like you mentioned, we don't see it much up at this level of gameplay. So, you know, going for the unexpected right now, Aerial Fire, and it seems to be working out for them quite well, as we do only have a 2v4 with 40 seconds left. So their time is a little bit better, but, you know, Pulse taking control and proving that position is dominant again, and, you know, it all comes down to they just haven't cleared him out, even though they know that it's a large possibility that he's still going to be there.
Well, surely they know the site is alone, so they have gone for the plant, and they know exactly where to watch. From above, Jackal watching the door, the other players probably watching the drone hole. There we go. And now Jetrian's coming on the flank. This is too easy for him. He gets one. He might get a second. No! Mentalist has turned around. He's actually taken down Zando. And now he's going to be fighting. Oh, he missed his shot, did Array. Brother of Zando, who just was felled. Can he win this out? Confirm that victory is probably going to be a victory nonetheless. And Detrian, unfortunately, the shadow is giving him away. Array just has to peek in just at the right moment and take the shot.
So they definitely did do something a little bit differently. They did use Pulse being a roamer and, like, from this site especially to their advantage, and got that diffuser down as quickly as they could. Their time management was definitely a little bit better just then, so they were able to, you know, push in there nice and smoothly and swiftly. They knew they still had time, so better round from Aerowolf there.
Yeah, definitely a lot better. Time management still could be improved, however, because they always seem to need the picks. Obviously, that's really how you break down any strategy. You know, you start off with the picks, and 6 pick from Maverick to Dokebi for the attack. That's very interesting. But yeah, you always obviously need the picks, but you need to have a good plan of what happens if you are unable to get those picks, because a lot of the times those picks rely on the enemy making a mistake, enemy playing a bit too aggressively, and if they're gonna play passive and just kind of hold themselves up in positions that are very easily held, like holding pixel angles and what have you not, there needs to be a good plan of taking that down, and I think that's really gonna be showcased here, whether they have got that or not. This is the same setup coming out from the defenders. Question is, are they going to be able to deny the C4 this time? And the roam eventually from Detrian.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they do know that Pulse is in play here, so hopefully they go, okay, we really need to take him out as quickly as we can, so that does entail them needing to do a roam clear as quickly as they can to get rid of him. But whether they do or not, or they, you know, this is one of those sites where you really can't have Pulse roaming below you when you go to play it, because it's an easy denial from underneath.
Oh, there we go. There we go. This is exactly what I wanted to, and this is what they've shown. Drone being followed up by a player, and Detrian, oh, this is a very bad spot for Detrian to be in, but I'm not sure the drone has even come by. Mentalist, as you saw, was droning in the ash of Lunar Metal, but he kind of probably, I'm guessing, just droned the rest of the basement outside of the garage area. You can see Mentalist drone has just gone past, and Lunar Metal is just gonna back away. So Detrian's roam goes unpunished for now, once again.
Yeah, so Detrian's really good at this, I've seen so far, is his roaming and being able to, like, sort of hide himself away in just some places that aren't typically droned, because you don't ever expect anybody to be there. So he's definitely doing a good job of fulfilling his, you know, his roaming role, and it's proving to be a very significant one during this gameplay right now. And I don't even know if, you know, they know that he's still down there or if they think he's upstairs. So definitely interested to see what happens, but they are very aware that Pulse is still there. Maybe has Jackal spotted him? No, Jackal still hasn't spotted him either.
Yeah, they have a Jackal, right? So I mean, why isn't the Jackal doing this? If they suspect he's been always roaming in the basement, send a drone in, send the Jackal in, get the pings out, get that Pulse scared, and possibly pick him off.
Yeah, but they haven't done it at all.
Yeah,
and they've
exactly.
had a Jackal every round now, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So, you know, why they haven't been, you know, sending Jackal down with a drone is beyond me, because they would definitely pick up Pulse's footprints. But who knows what's going on right now? And you know, they have got a nice little frag off from Valkyrie, but you know, Valkyrie's one of those operators that once you've got her cams out, you know, it doesn't really matter if she doesn't take them out early.
He loses a fight against Detrian. No way, he was holding the flank and everything. He prepped for it. But, well, what can I say? If you can't even win your gunfights, doesn't really matter. And look at that hole from below. I'm not sure if anyone's playing. And oh, what an angle from Kanodi. He does take down one, but Array sweeps in and takes down two. It's a 2v2, however. The Dokebi and the Pulse are going to be fighting together. C4 still active. This is going to be certainly a win, and I can't believe it. Once again, Detrian wins the round. And Rix,
this is what we have spoken about every round so far, is their inability to clear out this Pulse, and it's proving to be such a dominant thing from Detrian right now. Is he every round, apart from one, I think he got a C4 from underneath.
He got a C4 from underneath in every round, I think, actually, but that they have played on second floor. Just that one round, it wasn't a round winning one. Luckily.
Yeah.
For Aerowolf.
I just can't believe that Aerowolf haven't gone, look, Pulse has been brought every round. We need to get drones down there. We need to take Jackal to get his footprints so we know where he is. At least if they don't frag him, they know that he's downstairs somewhere and they can be more prepared for it. But even though Luna was prepared, he still lost the gunfight to him as he did come up those stairs. So I have no idea what's going on right now, but you know, props to Ferox with the heavy Pulse roam. Detrian just proving to, you know, really take on that role and play it really well.
Yeah, and honestly, Ferox are looking real good right now, if I have to say. Yes, traditionally the maps have become defender-sided, and Bank's always really been traditionally defense-sided, even before the Lion ban in the Pro League. So 3-3 is really not the best, but it's good. It's definitely very good for Ferox Esports. They will be feeling really good about this. The fact that they have been able to punish Aerowolf again and again. And no doubt Revek has been telling them all sorts of things, and they will be really happy that yes, our new teammate has been feeding us good intel and it's working.
Yeah, and you know, Ferox have to be really pleased with their efforts so far, because Aerowolf is such a strong team and we've seen them play really well, but maybe it's the fact that Luna's been out and he's only just come back in, and you know, there's a ton of different possibilities right now, but we're going to see if Ysera can actually play Pulse as the way Detrian did. He's not sort of roaming as heavily or as, you know, strong as Detrian is, and he's quite out in the open there, in open areas, in kitchen, but...
Yeah, it's a lot more active with Sierra's Pulse. But I guess that's the kind of Pulse he's used to playing, and yeah, I heard that too. But this kind of Pulse he's used to playing, and Detrian, maybe he's not the kind of Pulse he likes or is used to playing, but he definitely played that very well. He knew exactly what was required of him. And now he's going to return to the garage here, and he's going to catch a free kill into, yep, almost a free kill onto Ysera. He does take quite a bit of damage. Ysera kind of predicating that the Twitch will be coming in from there. Unfortunately, can't land the shots, but Hysteric's going to take down Rix, and Array's going to take down Detrian as well, but Revek immediately trades out Hysterics, and as the men get traded down and down and down, it starts favoring the attack just a little bit more.
Yeah, it definitely does, and yeah, I think it's because Pulse really didn't play that game of hide and go seek just then like Detrian did in the previous round, so you know, they seen that they had a Pulse and they were ready for it to counter, and they got it done quickly, so now they still have a minute left to push in. It is a 3v3 and they do have quite a bit of plant denial left, with Valkyrie still having her C4 and Smoke still having his canisters.
And unfortunately they haven't brought a Capitao and attack to kind of flush the players in Red Hole and whatnot out, and Revek's not opening the hatches just yet. He's just trying to get a look in and throw the flashbang thing. The plant is going down. Are they completely unaware? Oh, dearie me. What is going on? The pulse has been taken out and they have no intel on when the plant went down. And we saw this happen against Xavier Esports as well. And look at that. Revek holding a nice pixel angle, even with the red dot sight, takes down the smoke. Array is going to come up from the other end, and he's going to see that is barricaded, and he's going to lose the fight against Kanodi, not expecting him to be there. All up to the captain and the IGL to win this. Looks like Ferox are going to be going up 4-3. There is no time for Lunamel to take this. And that's it. Revek on to his former captain. Ferox take the lead.
What I do not understand just then is why Valk did not pull out that the diffuser was going down, and I know that it does get loud in there, but you can still hear it. And you know, Smoke not using his canisters he did try and deny the plant, but he didn't. I think, did he do one or did he do two?
Just one.
Okay, just one. And you know, why? He still had 2 left. There was still, you know, enough time for him to throw and deny that plant, but I just don't know what happened with Aerowolf in that round.
Where's the info game? What's happening? The information constantly lacking. They lacked it against Xavier, and they were actually decently close to winning on Bank as well, you know. But they didn't know when the plant was going down, when they were on the defense, and they lost because of that. Once a plant goes down, attackers get such a huge advantage.
Yeah, because all they have to do is sit there and hold the angle into the diffuser, and it's just, you know, somebody's got to cover the flank, and cover the flank is what they did, and it was just Castle did not win his gunfight coming down those blue stairs, even though he had a bit of an advantage there. Maybe it was because he was, you know, sprinting, and you know they knew he was coming from down there. But I just cannot believe, with Valkyrie still alive with the C4, she should have had a camera in there at least somewhere, unless it got taken out really early. But I just don't know why there was no diffuser denial at all just then.
Yeah. 5 seconds left. Just confusing, and it's the same issues over and over again. Oh, Detrian.
This time they're having these issues on defense.
Array! Oh, this is a fantastic battle.
A cheeky peek here from Array. He does get taken out though. That is a loss because ACOG's gone once again, but you know he's holding it while he's wasting Detrian's time, so is he gonna peek again?
Oh, Revek gets the first kill on to Mentalist. Ysera runs out of bullets, but fortunately for him, Array is there to save his life. And oh, what an angle from Hysterics. He can't land the shot. Surely the person outside of the stock room looking like Xander, surely he has heard that. Or at least Kanodi. Drones should be coming out very soon. And now, definitely they know where he is. And it's all up to Luna Metal to kind of hold this for his teammate. Save Hysterics from the coming fire that Ferox seemingly are planning to bring. Mentalist being off the board is a sizable problem too. You have one C4 gone.
C4 gone, they're going to be able to get through this quite easily, so they do have a really big advantage being able to open up the corner of that room. So unfortunate that Mira was taken out so quickly, but we will see Hysterics take down Kennedy.
Yeah, and look at what Ysera is so worried about. He's so worried about someone coming in from janitors, and he's not confident of Array holding his back, and that's really unfortunate. You need to have the kind of faith in your teammate. Or just don't do that setup where you yourself expose yourself to a possible push. And Detrian's on his drone. Hysterics gonna get a free kill right here. Good aggressive push right now. And it's a good man advantage of 50 seconds. They have the time, the attackers, but it's going to be very tough for them to come back. Oh, there we go. Hysterics one more. And is he going to get his third of the round? Yes, he is. Xander goes down. And Airwolf tied back up at 4-4.
take a quick little step back here and go back to why that Twitch was sitting on the stairs droning. That was just a really bad place to pull out your Twitch drone and go for it there. I just don't understand that at all. Easy kill, even from above. Like, he would have been able to, Smith was just able to easy run up there, and I don't think anybody was really covering him either. They were just all sort of chilled back, watching flanks from different angles and watching into rooms. So, you know, unfortunate there for Ferox.
Yeah, they could have had the round perhaps if Detrian had been alive. He has been putting in so much work for Ferox Esports. Unfortunately, not able to put in as much as he could. Castle's 6th pick, the best. You know, it's going to really throw the opponents off, don't you think?
Yeah, it's going to throw them off so much. It's going to give them the biggest advantage we have seen this game.
I always love it. Like, I'm not sure when they do the 6th pick, are they getting shouted at the team and say, hey, no, no 6th pick, no 6th pick. We told you, you can't take the 6th pick. And he's like, oh, well, I already opened it, so I guess I'm going to stick with Castle. Or is he like, goes to 6th pick and is like, maybe I don't want to play the other operator, I changed my mind. Or, I just wanted to change my loadout.
I seen Detrian's 6th pick from Pulse to Pulse as well, so you know that would have thrown a spanner in the works big time.
Yeah, so unfortunately it is going to be a basement defense for Ferox Esports, and a lot more expansive of a roam coming out from Airwolf here. They have the hatch open here in stock room. Diffuse has actually been dropped outside. It's going to get picked back up very soon. I think Sando is the nearest. Kenodi has seen Hysterics. Not sure if Hysterics heard the drone, but he does drop immediately into open area. He's safe for now.
Yeah, this is something I noticed last round as well from Ferox, is they did get in there and they did actually roam clear pretty efficiently. It was just unfortunate in the end that they were getting picked off, but it's something that they're doing different to Airwolf, is they are getting in there, and see, we do see them up on the top floor at the moment trying to take control, so something that's definitely differing them. And you know, Thermite swiftly pushed in here. Hysterics will get a kill onto Revek though. That is a big one, taking down Maverick.
The hatches might not get opened up. Thermite only has one more charge. He will need to choose. Does he open the red halls, or does he open the main hallway? Over the bomb site. So he has two choices right now. Detrian making his push in from garage once again, and his really strong push net him a kill in the previous attempt. Might get him one again.
Maybe, but don't think Thermite is going up for any hatches at the moment.
Nice.
That was a nice C4 from Luna though.
Yeah, indeed. And look at what Hysterics has done. He's played the same room as Detrian, but he's come out much more sooner, and he's gonna pay the price. Kenodi takes him down. Just the first kill for his team, but Kenodi is pretty low on health. Thankfully for him, he's not going to have to plant just yet. And Detrian's taken down Luna Metal. Array does take down Detrian, and the bait is coming out, but Mental is holding strong with the gas grenades. This time the Pulse is alive, and he can give the accurate real-time information, and there we go. He has one left, and after that it's going to be up to Ysera with his C4 to deny the plant. It's about 10 seconds more that Mentalist can deny the plant. They need to time this right. They don't have much utility left. And there we go, the last smoke grenade. Ysera moves into a very aggressive position. Unfortunately, Array bites the dust. It's a 2v2 once more. Mentalist needs to pull out his gun, but he loses the fight to Rix. All up to Ysera. The C4 has to come out. Unfortunately, he actually gets spotted out and forces the attackers to fall off the plant. Now the plant is going to be stuck. C4 goes out and hits. It's a double kill right in the middle of the two attackers. And Ysera clutching it out. A little bit of hesitation from Ferox Esports. If that pushed him aggressively, perhaps they could have won the round.
Yeah, definitely, especially because I did know that he was behind there as well, and with him running around and sort of being hesitant throwing that C4, they definitely did have time to run around there, at least give it a shot, but what an incredible C4 in the end, getting that double kill and, you know, taking that round for them.
Yeah, he was lucky, in fact, actually, that the plant wasn't up on the desk, you know, where a lot of people try to plant. Not the desk near the bomb, the one below the TV in the basement. That is a position that's often used with smoke cover. So you would have an exposed position, so it makes sense that Ferox did not go for that location. But I'm not sure if Ysera would have caught that. If he hadn't, then the C4 would have gone out, the round would have continued in, you know, the overtime mode. He still probably would have won that because the diffuser would have to be stuck at that point. But,
and
you know.
Either way there as well, that Zofia would have been taken out by that C4 even if he was planting in a different location. So, you know, Zofia was very low on health, did not take much to take her down, and we can see that with the C4 coming out. But it was an incredible C4 towards the end there. Ferox were going really strong to begin with. They were getting in there, doing their roam clear like, you know, Airwolf have not been able to do, but Airwolf are holding down their defense nicely at the moment. And, you know, Pulse playing in that position in the muddy vault is definitely a stronger one.
Kanodi's doing cardio there. You saw him run from spawn all the way halfway to the main door, and he's like, oh, back I go. So Revek on the Buck, another very commonly played operator from him. We've not seen him play too much of Maverick, but he's really comfortable on Buck, and he's pushing in from the garage this time. Detrion on the Ash, coming in from the main lobby, is essentially swapping positions with Kanodi. I think Kanodi's coming up server stairs, as we can see. Array is on the second floor.
I'm definitely a little bit confused as to why they're not clearing top floor first at the moment. So they started with the bottom, but the strongest points to take for this site in particular is the top, because you get a lot of vertical control, and you know, that's where the defense really has strength, because they have a lot of open floor where they can deny the plant if they do end up taking both bottom basement and bottom first floor there. So, you know, interesting to see that they haven't pushed up yet and they're just sitting outside this room, because if they do get in, there is a huge chance that they are still going to get fragged out by the roamers upstairs.
Lunamil's gonna take down Kanodi just as he looks up to take down that Valkyrie camera that was tracking his movements. Xando, though, he's gonna trade back. Hysterics goes down. Array is downed as well, but Hysterics taking down Revek is going to at least put it into a 3v3, if not more. Hysterics, oh, taking so much damage. Xando is on the hunt together with Rix. My god, I screwed that up. Lunametal takes down Detrian, and now Hysterics is gonna win that fight. No way, that's an easy pre-fire. You know exactly where he was. Array is probably gonna end up bleeding out, and there we go. Rix is gonna finish him off, but he's the only member left standing from Ferox Esports. Hysterics, ooh, that was so close. He could have lost his life unnecessarily and made that clutch a lot more viable, but he's gonna duck away at just the right moment. Rix is gonna take down one. Lunametal, the Valkyrie, off the board. And there we go. Final kill. Ysera headshot from above onto Rix. And match point for Airwolf.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I did point out earlier in that round, is they weren't going for that top floor control at all. And, you know, we've seen there that it did ultimately lose them that round because they had so many angles from below. But I cannot believe that Jaeger won that gunfight.
Yeah, Hysterics tends to do that, you know. Airwolf is stacked with really good fraggers if you let them have their way. All five of them, you know, if you put them on a attacking role, give them a bit of time to adjust to it, they will just pop off. And Hysterics usually gets put on those roles. That's what he's most comfortable with, so you see him really hogging the limelight, sort of, a lot of the time. And Smoke to Rook, that's one of the worst 6 picks I have seen.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Maybe they were just, you know, once again, teams yelling, where is our ACOG for the parking lot counter? But it's not really a necessity, especially with Castle being in place. So I do not understand that at all. Smoke would be a much more viable choice because it allows for a whole lot of plant denial, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm interested to see how they actually play this, and if they're only going Rook purely for the ACOG in that hallway and onto the parking lot.
Might as well go Echo.
You know.
Like, go Echo if you want the ACOG that desperately.
Echo's
Oh wait, sorry,
banned.
Echo's banned. Right, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was in my mind, I was gonna say Maestro's banned, so you should go Echo, and I was like, wait a second, something's not right. Calculating. Oh. Well, but yeah,
Error
I mean,
message brain does not work.
yeah, but alright, but Smoke's the last operator I would trade out for an ACOG. It's got you a kill once, I think, but is it really that effective that you would trade out 3 smoke grenades for that and a shotgun?
Nope, definitely not. I would never, in my wildest dreams, trade smoke for an ACOG. I get what they're trying to do with the ACOG holding those long peaks, but that was incredible. Blackbeard going down to Castle.
How did that happen? Ripped through his shield like it was paper. And Canody, now he's gonna be feeling very vulnerable. If someone like a Blackbeard goes down on a window rappel, not even from a run out, not even from a peek in the lobby, he will feel very threatened.
Yeah, he definitely will. So, yeah, we're gonna see it. I do not blame him from going, okay, this is not a very good
what a shot!
Array with that nice little pick off on Revic just said it was just... I guess Rook getting a kill just there might make up for it in the end, but he did take a lot of damage, so, you know, I'm surprised that he didn't pick it off, at least. Then he has
Could
that...
heal himself, yeah.
Yeah, and if he goes down, he can pick himself back up, but Rook is definitely still very confused about that, but if it works, I guess.
What is this rotation? Oh, that's an easy kill. Hysterics get taken down, but what is this rotation that the Thermite has made? You saw him opening up the east wall. Now he goes up the roof all the way across, gets 1 kill, but he's so far away from the site. It's going to take him like 15 seconds to start pushing the site. By that time, it's going to be 45 seconds left or something like that. And then you are in a 2-man deficit.
Yeah, I don't understand that rotation at all, and now he's stuck in the lobby, and it was just a very confusing rotation for us to understand there, but
this is
he's
where
wasted
the
a lot of time.
This is where the ACOG would be useful if they had played it a little bit more in conjunction, but Ysera's going to take down 1 and 2 headshots all the way. That is going to be good half, and after struggling through the first half of this map, finishing 3-3 even, they are going to win the second half 4-1 and take the map 7-4.
Yeah, so it was very well played from Ferox to give them quite a run for their money there, but, you know, Aerowolf definitely held down their defense a lot stronger than they did on their attack, so good half to Aerowolf just then. Very excited to see the next map unfold, which is Consulate.
Yeah, I think it's Consulate. Yeah, it's Consulate. That's correct. It is Consulate, and Consulate is a map that Aerowolf has not been the best map, but it's been a good map for them. They have been strong on it for a long time, and funny thing is they were strong on Consulate even in Season 6, and Season 6 was when Hysterics wasn't on this team. Hysterics playing for Unique Monster, now kind of yes tag. So, you know, it's funny how everything works out in the end.
It definitely is. So definitely keen to see who takes this one really strong. So, you know, it's one of those maps that you're either really good at or, you know, it really lacks.
Yeah. So we are going to take a quick break while we wait for map number 2, Consulate. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you to continue on this really thrilling matchup between Aerowolf and Ferox.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night, erase all of these broken dreams and flight. And we'll up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll
Alright guys, thank you very much for waiting. It was not a very long wait, but thank you. Nonetheless, now we'll be heading into map number 2 of this exciting match up between Ferox Esports and Airwolf. Airwolf, if you missed it, if you're just tuning in, they took the first map, Bank 7-5. Now they'll be going on to Consulate on defense.
Yeah, and it was definitely one of those sort of, you didn't know what was going to happen in those very first few rounds, because Ferox really proved themselves, especially with the heavy roams and Airwolf not being able to clear it during their attacking stage. So I'm interested to see if Ferox do get onto a roam again when they do switch to defense, and if Airwolf are going to be like, okay, we really need to change things up right now and actually roam clear, because we've seen Ferox doing it really well. Definitely interested to see if Airwolf do adapt to their game style from last round, but was definitely an impressive game from Airwolf last time, and Thermite being banned. Ooh, that's a strong one.
Yeah, Airwolf likes banning Thermite when they are playing on Consulate. It's their really go-to ban, and I'm sure Ferox would have expected it. They have seen the VODs, they have Revek on the team as well, and it's going to be a glass ban from Ferox's side. Ysera is quite a mean glass, and so is Array.
Glass is just a really good operator to have on this map anyway, because especially when they're in sort of the areas like lobby and garage, where he can sit back and just smoke it off and just watch the diffuser like a hawk. So it's one of those ones where you can play really passively from a really long distance, and nobody can really contest you unless they really do have the guts to peek you, which often does not go down very well.
Alright, so normal bans and very standard bans coming out. Maestro being banned. A lot of people just hate playing against him. He has evil eyes that can see through smoke, zap and deny plants, even has an LMG with an ACOG of all things. So yeah, a lot of people don't like him. And then Valkyrie, of course, being a very strong operator on Consulate, the way that Consulate is arranged, she can get an excellent picture of the outside with just 2 cameras, leaving one to be used somewhere inside of the map.
Yeah, Maestro, definitely a really OP character, and you know, Plant Denial, really good gun, can hold some really nice long angles, and he's just one of those all-around operators that, you know, if somebody can play him and play him really well, he can cause a lot of havoc. So we do see him getting banned quite often. But you know, we are going to see another Pulse play, Luna this time. So we'll see how he can go on it and see if he can prove to us that, you know, he is a force to be reckoned with Pulse as well. Like,
oh, please tell me Ysera has brought the F12.
Well.
He likes bringing the shotgun here on Consulate and exactly playing the Ella just as he is, and I really hope he's brought it, because the F12 is a fantastic weapon. I mean, we saw aces from Fnatic just destroy Evil Geniuses at the Rio Finals last season, and I can't wait to see more of that. Yeah, you heard it. I think it's definitely the shotgun. I think I heard the pop pop. That should be good to see. And yeah, as you said, Luna Metal on the Pulse, just showcasing how versatile that team really is. And oh, Ysera almost getting caught off guard in a long range engagement that he doesn't want to take.
Yeah, definitely, especially if he's got shotgun in tow as well. So, you know, I actually love seeing the shotgun being played on Ella. We have seen that it can be very OP, especially if you put yourselves into really good positions like he was in the bathroom there. So, you know, they are droning out very heavy at the moment like they did last round to get rid of him. And we will see Revit take down Array straight away. That's a brilliant frag, especially on the smoke. Getting rid of that plant denial already is incredible.
Yeah, indeed, and as I said, Revek very comfortable on the buck, and he's showcasing just exactly why. Zando droning in for looking for this Ella. Now Revek is going to be pushing in skeleton key, and oh no, that is not an angle you want to try escape from, but somehow Hysteric saves the day. Detrian collects him anyway. Unfortunate. Mentalist is on the Echo, and Luna Metal has taken down Detrian, immediately refrag from Zando. So Ferox looking very good. The refrags coming in fast and furious, and this is the hallmark of a good team.
Definitely is, and you know, refrag straight away. That C4 was absolutely beautiful. You could not have timed that any better, and it's one of those things where the attack are looking quite strong at the moment, though, still even after that, so I'm interested to see how they push in. However, they do still have their Echo, and a very good plant denial at that.
Yeah, and the Echo might just win them the round, but they only have 1 minute to burn. That's quite a lot of time for the attackers. However, the good news is I don't think the garage wall has been open. No, Riggs is going to try and get it open with his blowtorch. It's going to take him a bit of time, but it's something that Hysterics cannot deny, and it might work out really well in his favor. Now, upstairs, Hysterics is going to hear Kanodi walking around. He's going to try and get a little bit aggressive on the yellow stairs. This is one of his favorite positions to play when defending the basement. Look at that. Tokedi call comes in, and look at that. He is going to light up Kanodi, but gets lit up way more. In return, finished off by Riggs, and now it's all up to Riggs whether he can find this Echo, and he can. Round number 1 goes to Ferox.
It's just nice and swiftly pushed by them as well. Getting upstairs, as I said before, they're really, really quick and efficient at clearing out those roamers straight away. And you know, getting rid of that, taking all of the top control and pushing everybody downstairs, leaving only 2 alive to defend it. And, you know, Dockerby's logic bomb going out was just well timed and was able to get Bandit nice and swiftly, as well as, you know, Rick's pushing in there and taking out that final kill.
Yeah, indeed. Now, Hysterics is gonna trade the Bandit for a Mute. Perhaps they feel that the drone game of Ferox was too hot to handle. Clearly something was working really well in the information department for Ferox, because the trades were immediate. They were stacking up really close, you know, at least playing in duos. Not stacking up in a negative sense where you get really easy to get killed by a C4 or a collateral. Instead, just looking like they are ready to trade things out, and they did. It's going to be almost an identical setup, except for the Mute from Aerowolf. So gonna be interesting to see how they fix the issues they faced. Ysera really couldn't do anything except bait a C4 onto Revek. He got traded up promptly after by Detrian, so hopefully the Ella has more effect if Aerowolf wants to win this. Ferox, on the other hand, looking really good and looking good to continue this momentum, at least on attack.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, hopefully Aerowolf have gone, okay, we know that they're going to get aggressive. We know that they're going to roam clear very quickly, take control of as many sites as they can. So maybe they'll send up a little bit, like, more help upstairs to sort of counter that. But, you know, we just got to see what happens, because, you know, we did see them being sort of passive last game to come back to be very aggressive this game. And, you know, that's a nice little spot for Ella to jump out and stop those Habana pellets.
Not sure if she was able to get the second set. It would have been very risky to play that angle. Detrian, he has taken a little bit of damage, and Lunamel is going to finish him off. Revek, unfortunately, is there. Aerowolf are struggling to really establish a long-term man advantage, because Ferox are playing it so beautifully with the refrags.
Yeah, we see a lot of drone work coming out, and that's just giving them a whole lot of intel to be able to push in and, you know, swiftly take out either, whether it be a refrag or just getting a frag out to begin
Lobby
with.
hatch is open.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, the other hatch is open too. Okay, well, that's fair enough. We had, you know, the Ella playing in, but neither of the hatches being closed could spell doom. Now, oh, that's a great frag grenade, bounces it off the bomb. Wonderful, wonderful stuff from Revek.
That was just, yeah, absolutely perfectly timed, that logic bomb going out, enabling Buck to know exactly where he was, so he could just get that, cook that frag in nicely and just get it in, and that was a perfect rebound.
Yeah,
off
indeed.
Of the table.
You could see it adjusted his aim. He was trying to actually throw it at first deeper into the A bomb site, and then he is like, oh, there's someone on the right. What do? Adjust it a little bit to the right, bounce it off the bomb, and boom, bada, boom. That's a kill, and Rix is going to take down Array. Revek is going to take down one more, and Ysera is the last man alive. He can't drop. He's going to get shut down immediately, and there we go. Revek with a beautiful 3K. Frag grenade started it off, and the gun finished off the rest. Too easy it is looking for Ferox Esports.
Yeah, they're just pushing this so well, and, you know, droning out, roam clearing, taking control so quickly like they are of the top floor, and getting those, you know, as soon as you take control of the top floor, you've got such an advantage, because, you know, you're gonna lock them down into that basement where they can't really move, so then you have your flanks being enabled as well. So they're just absolutely doing incredibly right now, and being able to get those frags, taking control of everything, and just, you know, solid communication at the moment by the looks of things.
Yeah, and that's a surprise, because Revek obviously newer to the team, and he doesn't speak Bahasa Indonesia, which is where the rest of his teammates are from Indonesia. And so they're obviously operating in English, right? And English not being their first language, and yet their communication is looking to be so wonderfully on song. Really speaks to the strength that Ferox has right now. They've really improved leaps and bounds from when we first saw them in the Pro League in Season 7.
Yeah, and they're proving, coming up against a strong team like Aerowolf right now, they're proving to be just as strong, and it's so good to see them come in with such confidence. And as you said, if, you know, they're speaking in English, absolutely incredible to still be able to communicate as strongly as they seem to be doing right now, because they're just getting in there, they're droning, they're clearing out roamers as quickly as they can, and just taking control. That's not something you see unless the team has a really strong bond and really strong communication.
Yeah, indeed. Really looks like Revek really needed the fresh air that he wasn't getting at Aerowolf, because he has been playing really well, and he was instrumental really yesterday when they played Consulate as well, playing against Script. They won Consulate by a pretty decent scoreline, so clearly stuff is working for them, at least on Consulate, and they got pretty close on Bank as well, I have to say.
Yeah, they're definitely looking quite strong right now, especially on this attack side, so definitely interested to see how this does pan out and if Aerowolf can sort of start countering them a little bit better, because we do know how much Ferox love to get in there, get in the roamers' faces and just frag them out. And we've seen that in the last game, they were sort of doing it. This game has just gotten stronger, so, you know, there's definitely a good chance that, you know, Ferox will keep taking these rounds out nice and swiftly.
Indeed, and well, yesterday they looked good, they're looking good again. They're 2-0 up against Aerowolf, and I can't believe I'm saying this. This is on defense, Aerowolf. They're struggling so hard. Finally, they have chosen to go upstairs. Ysera is going to pick up Detrian on that mirror, and Long Desk is being pushed solo by Revek, and it could be a very dangerous position if left alone. And there we go. The Echo Drone is going to see him. Ysera knows he's going to prep his C4. It is not going to hit. It's way too far. Doesn't even do a lick of damage.
Yeah, and Habana getting in here now, opening up a nice line of sight into A. Like, still really heavily peeking this long desk right now. But, you know, it's just one of those things where they're holding their angle strong at the moment, and I do like the fact that they have brought a Legion in to try and slow it down, as Hysterics will take down Kenodi.
Ooh, Mentalist has a shield, but he's gonna forgo it, play a lot more aggressively. Now the smoke grenade's gonna come out, Xander's gonna breathe a little bit, Hysterics is gonna get one more kill, Rix goes down. So instrumental in winning the last round, really the first round I should say. And Mentalist, he's gonna probably lock it out on his own, even if the rest of his team wasn't there. Smoke grenade's working well, but oh, Mentalist actually gets taken down from Spiral. Revek is not the one with the diffuser, Xander is. He gets taken down in Hysterics. That was a 4K, I believe.
Yeah, they just left it way too late to be starting to push, and just did not attack that as swiftly and like strong as a team as they have been in the previous rounds. But then again, that site is a really hard one to attack unless you can they took control of admin really early, but the angles were just far too strong, and you know, pushing solo up Long Desk and with the intel of the Echo Drone, just unfortunate that, you know, they got picked off so early and just left them really time poor in the end, so they couldn't really take their time and recoup and attack differently.
Yeah. Well, Dokebi, Buck, Maverick, Hibana, IQ, the IQ 6th pick from the Zofia, and Array's gonna swap off again. The smoke is the one suffering. Why? Why is the smoke suffering? What could possibly make you think, right, we have lost basement twice, and, well, I need less plant denial.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on in that one, but, you know, it's been a trend that, you know, 6 pick up smoke. I don't understand. At least it wasn't for a Rook this time, but it still doesn't make any sense because Smoke is such a strong operator.
Well, I guess what he feels his issue is that the roam game isn't strong enough. They're losing the gunfight. They're losing the strategy as well when it comes to the roam game. So he's like, alright, I'm going to assist the roam game much better rather than being sequestered in sight where I don't really play the best. That's fair enough. Array's really much more strong on the active roaming aggression that he's really known for at this point.
They really haven't changed their operators up too much from the first couple of rounds either, so it's just interesting because they have lost this room now twice. So I get that they're trying to go for a stronger sort of roam hold with the alibi clones here, but I'm just not certain that it's going to work out the way that they want it to.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Especially since he is still playing on site. So what? He's just swapped off the FMG and SMG-11 for a better gun? I guess that's it, really. And that's not something I would really recommend. And well, if you're doing that swap, why go to alibi? Just pick something better. Jaeger. The ADSs are super important in this current meta where there's so many projectiles coming in.
Yeah, that and the fact he's still anchoring in room right now. So those smoke canisters could have been such an advantage for him to deny, you know, even them entering the room if he couldn't deny the plant with them from the position that he's in. So I really don't understand this swap because there goes his alibis anyway. They're gone from the bathroom.
Be careful. Oh, that's a good frag, but it's not going to connect with the alibi. Revek knows he can't push in because he has to expect the alibi, and the alibi from below. Using those holes gets Detrian instead. Lunar Metal is all the way back in servers. Finally, the Ella is forced out of position, and it is 50 seconds. Kanodi almost getting a kill, but he looks away at the wrong moment. That should have been one onto the player near White Van. Array gets a second. Forget what I said about the alibi. Forget what I said about the smoke. He is popping off. He's gonna get a third, not a fourth. It was only a down, unfortunately. But he can't get the pickup just yet. Dravek has been downed as well. Probably from a C4. And look at that. Luna is going to finish off Zando. So Array almost taking down his brother as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish it off. C4 primed and ready. Explodes. Revek survived this one. It hit the table squarely. 10 seconds. This is impossible. He's gonna vault in. Mentalist takes down one. Hysterics shotguns his former teammate in the face. And that is Airwolf answering back 2-2.
As much as we did, you know, sort of bag out that choice to swap from smoke to alibi, the change in the weapon just then alone, I think, helped him so much because he was able to get 2 frags and then down a third. So, yeah, I take back what I said. It was a smart choice after all, but it's just something that you don't see often. So, one that you will question naturally, getting rid of some plant denial for, you know, some alibi. I just worked out in the end, and I guess good thing for Airwolf there because they did lose that site twice in a row, so maybe that's a little change up that they did need.
Yeah, as much as we were bagging them, as you said, on the smoke pick, sometimes you have to adapt to your opponents, and that means playing a little bit off meta. Off meta in this case is reducing your plant denial and increasing your aggression and bringing operators that can assist with that increased aggression. So, well played to Array.
Definitely was. Now I do see the site looking like it's going to get held really heavily from above with all the hatches being over, the reinforcements being made, which is really what we see quite often. They have opted for a smoke this time, which is a good pick for this room, especially because, you know, most of the plants do go down in that main lobby door, so they've got barbed wire there too. They can get caught easily. Smoke can just easily keep them out, and, you know, there's not sort of anything that can stop them from getting just sprayed through the smoke the Jackal can possibly lay down as well.
Yeah, Hysterix is on a very strong position. This time he's playing the Jaeger. He is waiting for perhaps a drone, I guess. Ysera is on the pulse, not Lunar Metal this time. Lunar Metal's on the smoke, so perhaps they realize that it's really not a race forte to be on that. Oh, Ravek takes damage. I think it was from Mentalist. Playing the very long angle. No, it's Array actually. So even without the ACOG, Array is trying to put in lots of work, and now Luna's getting pushed in from all angles. Somehow he manages to get away.
Yeah, that was definitely a really tricky spot for him to be in, and incredible that he did get out of there with his life. But the attackers are seeming to come up here and try and clear out this top floor as quickly as they can. We do see Ashen in a pretty nice position here, holding this rotate, and Detrian will take down Luna, and Rix will get a kill onto Array. What an incredible double frag just then from the teamwork.
Oh, this is
Pulse
looking...
from below, he's going to get a really nice... There we go. Ysera
Jeez.
takes down Detria. There's just an easy C4 from Pulse. Pulse proving to be a very dominant character so far that we have seen played quite a bit from both of these teams, and you know, they're definitely bringing their C4 game with Pulse at the moment, which is really, really good to see.
Yeah, the problem right now I'm seeing from Airwolf is they keep on losing the smoke early. They keep on, you know, going on the man count deficit very early as well. And that's really a big problem for them. They need to fix that, especially when he's defending the first floor. See, Rix is going to take down the Pulse, and just the Echo, no, he can't hold it 50 seconds, even when he pulls out his own gun. The rappel is coming out on the A windows as well, but the smoke's going down here, and oh dearie me, Ravek is going to take down Hysterix, who walks right through the smoke, and it's a 1v4 for his Echo. We saw a 1v4 nearly pulled off by Ysera on the Pulse against Yes Tag, but it's going to be really hard for Mentalist to do that. Oh, he's gonna get two, but his former teammate and the counterpart to his Echo is going to take him down. Ravek reacting quickly, still showing Aerowolf just what they might be missing, perhaps. The old killing the new.
I am seeing a common trend here with the smoke plays, regardless of which player is playing him at the moment. They're using their gas canisters to stop the attackers from pushing in to take over their roam positions. And it's just not working out well for them. So they're using their gas canisters way too early. They're not using it for a diffuser denial like we would like to see. And it's just not giving them an advantage at all, because they're still pushing in as strong and taking them out as easily. So I don't understand what's happening with Smoke right now to be able to be picked off quite early and still not using his canisters in the way of a diffuser denial, which is very confusing at the moment, especially because Smoke getting taken out early is a really big advantage for the enemy team.
Yeah, I've said this for a while now with regards to Aerowolf, starting really with the invitational qualifiers against Xavier. Keep your Legion alive, keep your Smoke alive, keep your Maestro alive, see what happens. Answer is you win. And every time, kind of, against Xavier, when they kept those three operators alive whenever they played them, they won. And I was like, surely you have to see this. Surely the math is there, surely it's that simple. Just switch around stuff so that your Smoke isn't the one dying first. You know?
Yeah. It's very confusing, especially because Smoke isn't really one of those operators that we see being played aggressively. He's one of the more passive ones that needs to sit back until the end of the round when the enemies are starting to push in for that diffuser plant and deny it, but it's not what's happening from Aerowolf at the moment, and you know, it's proving to be a significant disadvantage when they're losing him so early, because they're just losing that plant denial.
Oh no, Detrian too aggressive, and Lunar Metal with the Yokai Blast, assisting himself really He is going to take down that Ash, foolishly pushing up so early into the round.
Yeah, that's what Ash is meant to do though. He's supposed to be aggressive, pushing strong, but I think he pushed in a little bit too strong, especially with the Echo Drone being there, and you know.
But I don't think he droned himself in or
no,
was
and I don't
supported.
think a teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah, a teammate definitely didn't drone him in either, so that was definitely a big, huge thing. Oh goodness gracious!
Come on, Ysera, you have to be quicker than that. Loses his teammate in because of that. Revek is the one taking him down. Thankfully, he's off the board. Now, the Mira is going to vacate that location, going to run all the way back into sight. The Yokai covering his retreat, as well as giving vital information about where and when to rotate. He's going to fight a Blackbeard Mentalist, and oh, that was so close. That's going to be a Yokai drone wasted.
Yeah, so it is a 3v3 at the moment. There's still quite a bit of time left, but they still have a nice amount of plant denial. I do not know if they still have one Echo Drone up, because we did see them getting taken out before, but where is Smoke at the moment?
Smoke ran down into the basement, and there we go.
Now.
Oh, and the Jackal is going to breathe in lots of toxic gas, and Ysera has used his C4 to no effect. Oh, nope, you can't take down your own teammate. Ysera is going to take down Xander though, but Kanodi and Rick's going to take down one each. It's all up to this Smoke. He has to burn 30 seconds with zero utility. Surely Kanodi saw him on the drone right there.
This should be an easy take for Ferox right now, and
oh,
he's gonna get lit up quite a bit.
Use the shotgun.
No!
Why are you
take it down?
Why do you stand there?
I think his goal was to, you know, he thought that maybe the diffuser was getting planted in a different location and he could have pre-fired it, but you know, with two people still left up, you think he would have held a more passive angle and sort of rotated somewhere where they weren't expecting him to be, but he burnt up all of his gas canisters trying to keep that Jackal out as well, which was very unfortunate because he didn't time them all the best.
Focus on the clear and present danger. The plant is secondary at that point. You are engaging someone else, an enemy operator. You have tagged them up. Swap your weapon. Shoot him in the face with the shotgun. Instantly that would net you a kill, and then you could have easily taken the diffuser as well. It's a 7-second defuse.
Yeah, I find it really common that people don't actually switch to Smoke's shotgun as quickly as they should be, and they're just trying to run around with that SMG-11, and it's just proving to be really hard because, you know, it has a limited amount of bullets. There's only so much damage you can do, and unless you're finding their heads, it's not going to really have an impact unless you can quickly and efficiently swap to that shotgun to take them out. But as we've seen there, it was just he had time to swap guns, but he didn't. He repeaked with the same one, and it was just...
Didn't even repeat really, you just stood there.
Yeah.
That's
the thing though, it's a broken wall and it's such an easy angle for the attackers to hold, so... Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, hopefully learns from it this round, takes it in, and, you know, Ferox, again, proving that they're such a team to be reckoned with at the moment.
And, okay, so, and the thing is, Xavier has been brushing these teams aside with no difficulty. They have been demolishing these teams that are not traditionally top 1 and 2. That means they are currently pretty much on course for a flawless points haul. And since playoffs have been removed from this season, if Airwolf drops points anywhere along the way, given that the match against Xavier is the last match of the Pro League, well, that means they're going to lose that number 1 seed once again. Oh, great shot! Array on the Capital. He does love that operator. Takes down Gravek. A lot of damage done to him, however, with that shotgun. Still, man advantage in favor of the attackers.
Yeah, it definitely is at the moment, and it's just... one of those things where the attackers can afford to get a little bit aggressive, especially because they have such good coverage in the administration offices. And if they can push that effectively and as a team, they can get a lot of control from that. And, you know, there's really no way you can flank from there as well. So once you have that site, you've pretty much secured it for the whole round, and you can use that to fall back to if you need to, you know, drone out or anything. So it's definitely one of those things where if you get in and take it quick, it can be definitely a huge attacker's advantage.
Indeed, now Mental is trying and failing to get the goo mine, finally does get it with his main gun. And we have Hysterics taking on Canody. Frag Grenade nearly takes down Xando. He's so low on health. Ditchian takes down Mental. Ysera trades him right back. It's 2v4. One member in the bathroom, one member in the other bomb site. Hysterics is holding the flank right now. He's going to take down the goo mine and try push up Spiral, I believe. Unless he's going to regroup. This is a very strong angle. Xando has been juiced up by that dock. And there are APAC trains, so the smoke is very important, and a little bit of damage being done to Lunamel as he runs in to try and get the defuse. Xando is going to get burnt and down, all up to Rix. He's probably going to be able to revive him. No, Hysterics is going to take out both the ACOG operators. Airwolf clawing things back. 4-3 right now, not in their favor.
I don't know if Doc had any stim pistol left, but it looked like he may have been swapping over to try and get the revive there, and it just sort of threw him off with his weapon changes to get back to get that get the frag across. And it's just unfortunate that, you know, Hysterics was there with such a strong angle and able to frag both of them.
Yeah. Well, that was a good rotation from Hysterics. He kind of, maybe if Ferox is paying close enough attention, baited out the yellow push. You know, shot the goo mine, gave his position away, and then came up from Spiral. But either way, great gunplay from him over there. Strong round for Airwolf, but, well, they are still behind. And if they drop points, even if they draw this, forget losing it, you know, even if they draw this, that could possibly mean goodbye to a possible first seed, unless they are somehow able to beat Xavier Esports across both maps, or rather beat them once and then draw against them on the other.
We can't write off Ferox right now either. They are actually proving to be a very strong team, and we can't really talk about the future if we're focusing on the now, because they are still, you know, 4-3. There's still a huge chance that Ferox can win this one and take us into a draw. So
Right to the spawn. Pete not gonna collect anyone unless he sticks around. No, he's not. He's gonna back off, and smart move. It's almost 30 seconds into the round, and staying there too long will get you droned out, noticed, and then just pre-fired. But oh, he's just gonna go to another location. Array the Capital, who really was instrumental in winning them the round with his opening frag and that smoke and long desk. He's gone in a basement attack.
yeah, and Capito being taken out quite early is a tough one too, because he has a lot. Wow, that was an amazing C4 from Detrian, taking out Luna, putting it down to a 5v3 already, and there's still just under 2 minutes left. And, you know, they're clearing out this roam nicely. Kennedy has a nice angle here. I don't know if Hysterics knows that he's there. Nope. Oh, nope, there he is. Hysterics taking down Kennedy, does realize that he is there, gets a nice little flick off onto his head there as well. Able to get through those bandits, but it's really no use because they don't have any hard breaches left to try and, you know, open that garage up now. But we are seeing Bandit getting quite lit here upstairs.
Oh, that's really good pre-fire.
To Ysera, yeah. Excellent pre-fire through the wall.
Did you see that every one of Airwolf's remaining members came up to the second floor and were like, alright, this bandit, he dies now. That's the kind of stuff we need to see from Airwolf earlier on, you know, just coordinate a lot more. Ferox was doing this wonderfully on attack. You know, it might be a good thing to learn a thing or two, you know, from teams that traditionally not really been the strongest, but currently they are beating you.
Yeah, and this is something that we did point out in Bank, is that they weren't roam clearing very well, but they're proving to do it now on their attack, and you know, it's giving them an advantage, and they're using that really nicely to take out the rounds at the moment. So it does come down in the end that roam clear is helping them quite a lot right now.
Still taking too long. Last smoke grenade is going to get expended, and now shotgun on the stairs. Revek is going to be fighting against Hysterics. There's no way Hysterics is going to win this fight unless he's able to flash in. He's actually simply going to ignore Revek, and Revek's going to shoot him in the back. But Rix is going to take down Mentalist after Revek is traded out. And ooh, what a shot. Zando with the Silence MP5 finishing things. And I think I'm going to call it, Apples. This is going to be a map win for Ferox. A win.
Do you think so? You don't think Aerowolf can come back from this now?
They are looking too poor overall. Just again and again and again. Same thing on Bank. Bank, it just seemed that Ferox didn't really have the chops when they went on attack, I think. Right. Yeah, when Ferox went on attack. So that kind of why Ferox fell back. But Ferox have won this just yesterday, and they were kind of in a similar position, and they have a 2-round lead right now. They won the first half 4-2. Such a good position. They are playing just better than Aerowolf.
What I am noticing is that whilst Aerowolf is fixing up the fact that then they weren't roam clearing last map, they're doing that now. But they're still leaving themselves so time poor because it is taking them that long to get up there and clear them out. And as we seen last round, all 3 operators rotated up to the top of the stairs just to take out the bandit. That should be, you know, a solo, maybe a duo job to go up there and do that, whilst we do see some sort of pressure getting applied to the objective. But, you know, they're not playing time to their advantage like they should be, being the attacking team, and the defense are just holding up so strong. And for Bandit to draw that much attention by the attackers to bring them all upstairs gave the defenders a massive advantage, because they just ran out of time in the end.
Yeah, indeed. And utility on the smoke, utility on the echo with the yokai, even if they had started getting the plant down, even if Rix had gone down near White Van, very hard to win. And look, they have a Legion again. They have an Echo again. Revek's Castle Barricades are going to be a thorn in the side as well. At least they're going to force the attackers to waste some utility. Either Hibana pellets or Ash breaching charges or frag grenades. One of the 3 has to be used.
Yeah, it's not just that as well, taking out the castle barricades. It's the fact that they're going to get slowed down quite a lot from these goo mines. And as I said earlier, Legion is probably one of my favorite defense operators, purely because he provides a lot of intel, and he just takes up so much of the attackers' times should they step into one of his goo mines. And, you know, once they step in, they know where they are, especially if he can remember every spot that he put him in and keep a mental note of it. Somebody can just push and, you know, use that to the advantage of them taking out that goo mine to push in and get them.
Oh, Revek nearly gets his head taken off from Ysera. But this is a very, very slow attack. And oh, now he does get his head taken off. Great shot from Ysera, just pre-firing that angle. Kenobi's trying to refrag, but this time the Ferox refrag not coming out. But still, they have managed to keep Arrow from gaining very much map control until just about now. And that's very little time left.
We also seen last time they attacked this round is, you know, they were just feeding them kills by peeking them wide like Detrian just did onto Hysterics. So I don't get the whole peeking, especially when the walls are still closed. They still have so much like barricades standing in the way of the defense and the attack, and you know, they should just be playing passive, letting them push into them and just holding some nice angles, but they're not. They just keep peeking, and it's just easy frags for Aerowolf at the moment.
Well, easy frags, but not easy on the time. Legion is still alive. His goo mines are still alive. He's just thrown one out right there. Echo drones are still alive. They have an IQ. Rix is going to lose his life. Now the IQ needs to really come into her own right now. Pull out a scanner because she could win this round for the attackers if she plays it right. Kanodi, however, he's going to get down. And it's 15 seconds. This could still be a win for the defense. Come on. Mentalist.
She's not using her utility.
No.
Oh,
there we go. That was... Oh no, Xander is now alone and he's gonna get shut down. Aerowolf, you had a 4v1 man advantage and you nearly lost that.
Yeah, that was just poor timing yet again. I do not understand why they're taking so long to push in, but at the same time, they did have a Legion, they did have an Echo pounding at them at every minute. It was really sort of a really intense situation for Echo at the end. I can't believe that IQ wasn't the one to spot out that Echo drone and kill him. It was actually the Thermite. So, oh, not the Thermite.
The
sorry.
Ash, I think. Of his
the Ash, yeah.
Come on, like, stop going for the frags. You can let the Ash go for the frags. You can let everyone else go for the frags. Pull out the scanner. Just make sure. I don't care if you think there's the yokais are down or like just pull it out. Maybe there's like a C4. I don't know. You don't know. So better be safe than sorry. And you almost were sorry. Well, 30 seconds left in this prep phase. It is going to be Ferox still leading 5-4. They're gonna try this defense of the second floor yet again.
Yeah, they definitely are. And, you know, the way Aerowolf pushed them just before, they should take that and just know not to sort of be so aggressive on their defense, because Aerowolf are taking a long time to push in, and, you know, relying on that Legion last round was really good. I don't know why they didn't bring him again this round, because it took a lot of time, but they've just got to focus now and not being so aggressive and just sit back and be a little bit more passive, because they're just getting their heads taken off as soon as they peek an angle.
Yeah, unfortunate for Aerowolf, but fortunately Hysterics is gonna get the opening frag. Kanodi goes down. Where was that from? Where did... I don't understand. Was it from the B windows? Perhaps?
I have no idea. I completely missed that one getting... He was just gone by the time I had even seen it. So that was incredible work.
So you saw what Revek was doing there, if you were kind of paying attention, guys. It's a very common strategy. I'm sure most of you know what it is about. And oh, Revek holding one armor panel in the pocket. And he's gonna use that to full effect. So he had lots of holes there inside of that break room, looking into admin, and that gives the attackers pause over which one to pre-fire, which one to shoot, which one is Revek going to be peeking his head out from. But now they've cleared it out. They have drones, a lot more efficient this round, but still could go pear-shaped as they almost did in the previous one.
Yeah, and I find that at the moment, Ferox isn't being as aggressive as they were, so they're not peeking as heavily, which, you know, I think is a good idea, because they do have that pulse downstairs that can give them intel and let them know when they are pushing up a little bit there. So, oh, he's right down the bottom floor. I did not realize that, actually. I thought he was up one, but, you know, hopefully he'll move as soon as they know that they're pushing in, because, you know, there's really no way that he can get picked off as the castle barricade gets taken from spiral stairs, because Luna is running down around downstairs at the moment though, so...
Well, they just need to make sure Detrian doesn't punish them like he was doing so on Bank, and that's too easy. Come on, Hysterics. How do you not expect the connector angle? That is the most common angle. And look, well, I think this is it, 6-4. I'm gonna call it. There we go.
A bomb has been located.
You think so?
He still has a C4 if I'm not wrong. Well, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
How are you only just now realizing about the pulse and that Lysera's the only one? He's on the buck, not an operator he plays too often. The pre-fire, very long one comes in, and that's a skeleton key, and nope. Just not used to it. 6-4. Match point. This is it. Aerowolf are dropping points.
I don't understand how, at this current point in time, Aerowolf aren't expecting, especially on the top floor, there to not be a C4 underneath them. Because it's happened so many times, and we all know that Detrian just loves his pulse plays, and again, where is the roam clear? Where's the droning?
This is consulate. It's not even that big of a map like Bank, where I can kind of say like, alright, fair enough, Bank's a huge map. If you want to like... Although the problems they were having with the roam clear were even worse than the the size of the map, really.
Yeah.
But here, it's... What? Why?
It takes half the time to clear this one out, I reckon. Especially if you just, you know, get in there with your jackal, with a drone. You can find footprints easy enough, especially if you suspect a roamer. And I just don't understand why they don't expect him to be like lurking around waiting for that C4, especially if they are on a top floor and can take really good advantage of that. But we will see him swap over to a Kavira. We did see a Kavira being pulled out last round, but anchored in the room the whole time, so I'm interested to see if Kavira actually does go on a really heavy roam this time.
Yeah, well, the Pulse, I guess, just trying to strike fear, but honestly, I don't think you need to strike fear, Detrian. These guys are losing the plot pretty much by themselves.
Yeah, they definitely are.
He's just gonna play the Kavira the same way he played the Pulse, and Aerowolf will do absolutely nothing about it once again, and they're gonna lose the round. That's really pretty. I mean, they might win this round, but you know it's the long run. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's just taking so much time to drone clear. What they should be doing is they should be setting up drones during the prep phase and not just taking them straight down to the room to spot out the operators, so they can go for that quicker drone prep. Because, you know, by the time Jackal just had his drone, drove it around to where he wanted it to pick it up, wasted 15-20 seconds. What is the point in wasting that much time when you can do that at the start anyway?
I wish I could answer you, Apples. I really wish I could.
I really wish I could answer it as well, because it's just puzzling me so much how much time Aerowolf are currently taking to clear room. It's like, they obviously know that there's a Kavira. They probably don't know that she's downstairs, but in a case that she was upstairs, who's going to stop her from flanking down and possibly getting interrogation right now, because there's no roam clear upstairs at the moment.
Yeah, I mean... Well, they have a Jackal. I hope he's using it to good effect. And oh, that is the Echo getting lit up really heavily. Well, not that heavily. Zando somehow only loses 40 HP or thereabouts. Detrian is the one getting the first kill. The shotgun takes off Hysteric's face. That poor Ash won't be able to live with it again.
Yeah, Ysera also taking a lot of damage, so you know that really compromises him at the moment as well. And Kavira's now upstairs. To see what I mean about this drone play.
What? What are you blind? Are you deaf? What is going on?
Detrian will take down a Ray, but Mentalist will frag back for a refrag there. I do not understand why there's no flank drones. Aerowolf, I want to know what's going on in their heads right now, because I'm genuinely very confused. And we'll see Ravek taking down a kill through the floor into Ysera. We did know he was compromised from his health. 3v2. Still have a lot of plant denial from an Echo and a Smoke. And
well, that's a good crack from Mentalist. Ravek gonna take down one, and as you said, there it is. Rix is going to get 3 points for his team. Immense performance from Ferox Esports. We have Aerowolf dropping an entire 3 points tonight, only getting the 3 from the first map. bank. And look at that, Revek MVP. I said he was popping off, and he's popped off today as well. 13 kills, more than anyone on Airwolf. Array only with 3. Zando's the better brother tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those games where Airwolf did not take into consideration at all on both maps the roam clear and the droning. There was just none of it happening. They sort of did it the start of one round, but then they just slacked off and they were just like, no, we're not going to do it anymore. And ultimately, Kavira being able to flank, a lot of roamers being able to sort of be in good positions, taking down, and I just don't know what to say. I honestly am very, very surprised at that one, that Airwolf didn't adapt to that roaming that Ferox was doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was really one of the worst maps I've seen from Airwolf. Just all round, constant, same, identical mistakes, and that's just inexcusable for a team of their caliber, of their experience. These 3 points that they have dropped are going to hurt them so much, and I don't think they can beat Xavier. Xavier's already number 1 before today. In season 8, they beat them in the invitational qualifiers. Couldn't fly because of visa issues, but still beat them. And with Xavier being the last match, what Airwolf has to do now to get the first seed, assuming Xavier continues on their rampage, their warpath, they have to beat Xavier across both maps. And that, taking 2 maps from Xavier hasn't been done, since when? Since the Paris major qualifiers in July of 2018. That's the last time Airwolf took 2 maps from Xavier.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult one, and that last game, I'm still a little bit mind blown as to what happened, and the fact that Airwolf didn't adapt at all across 2 maps. 2 maps. They had 2 maps to adapt to the roam clears and the droning, but it just wasn't happening, and just gave the defenders, it gave Ferox so much advantage because they just had no control whatsoever.
Yeah, just really, again, the roam game, it's been a problem since the Paris Major. They lost to Element Mystic in the grand final and the upper final at the Paris Major because they were unable to deal with the roam clear. And I think Consulate was played twice by them over there, or at least once against EM, now Mantis, obviously. And that's been a problem for them at least since July. Still not fixed. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with Airwolf. And, well,
yeah. Enough about Airwolf. We do definitely have to give a big, good game to Ferox for taking out that map. They proved themselves in that one. They proved that they were really strong, both attack and defense. They just took out round after round, and they played it to their advantage. They seen what Airwolf was doing wrong, and they seen that they were making these mistakes round after round, and they were just using it to their advantage, just taking down that heavy roam. Pulse with the C4. He got so many C4 kills across those 2 maps. It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, indeed. If really you had to point out standout performers, Detrian, who apparently was playing with Intel i3, and then, the anti-cheat programs obviously taking extra toll on his PC together with Siege. And he was...
Somebody needs to get that man a better CPU because he would be unstoppable.
76 FPS locked when a lot of when people at this level are playing with 144. So he's essentially playing with half the FPS, and he was one of the standout performers, Revek being the other one. Really, actually, the entirety of Ferox was fantastic. They were so good.
And like I said, the start of that game, him coming from Airwolf with knowledge of how they play, definitely would have had a huge advantage. But I just cannot get over the I3. How does somebody play on an I3 and do that well against a good team?
Well, it happens when Aerowolf makes that kind of mistakes, I guess.
I just got to give props where props are due. Ferox, you did an absolutely amazing job. I am so thankful that I had the opportunity to cast that game tonight. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how these games go across the rest of the Pro League season.
Indeed, this is going to be a really uphill battle, and Aerowolf are going to be praying so hard that Xavier drops points. They're really going to be praying hard. They're going to be waiting. Please, please, please. If not, at the APAC LAN, they are going to be second seed, and this time, other teams are going to see that and going to recognize that, hey, we can take Aerowolf. You know, they're not as dominant as they look.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge mental game for teams as well, and especially Aerowolf getting that sort of stigma from these matches as well. They're going to come in here, they're going to be like, look, we'll just play like we play. We know where Aerowolf need to improve. We'll test the waters and see if they've improved from the previous games that we've watched. And then if they don't, then we can figure out a way to counter-strike them, because, you know, Ferox just used it completely to their advantage. They used it, they got the win. It was absolutely amazing to see the teamwork from them.
Yeah, well, indeed. So unfortunately, we could only bring you one series tonight. The first game was a forfeit in favor of Xavier Esports. So, well, even if Xavier might have lost points today, we never saw that game. That game didn't come out because YesTag had technical issues. So this is all from the two of us tonight. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Thank you for seeing this great upset of a match, really. And I've been Infinity Walk. With me was Apples. It was amazing having you guys. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
It's the unknown, the unknown. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming. Set me free. I'm calling.
love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we had.